Hello and welcome back to Losi. We're doing the how-to on what to do when you get a flow reading on your hot tub. Typically a flow reading is something where it creates where your hot tub does not heat. First thing you're going to check would be the filter, and what you do is you want to turn the breaker off to the house and come over to your filter, open up the skimmer weir and pull out the filter all the way. Pop your weir back in depending on your skimmer weir, lock it back into place. And then go turn this tub back on. Once you turn the tub back on, it's going to go through its cycle, programming steps, until it actually is showing the display of the temperature is when it's actually loaded up entirely. And if you're still getting the flow reading, then we're going to go ahead and proceed to step 2. Step 2 is going to be down inside the hot tub, and I've already got the panel off on the side of the hot tub here for us to see. First thing that you're going to do is you're going to want to make sure you get the breaker shut off against the house again so that you're not getting electrocuted. On the inside of the spot pack is where you got the heat tube assembly. The stainless steel tube is the heat tube assembly, and in this case basically what I'm going to show you is to check to see if the heater element is actually getting electricity of 240 volts. What you've got here is the heater leads to the heat tube. I've got these bolts nuts loosened up a little bit for just a demonstration here today. Basically what you're going to do is while the system is still turned on, while the hot tub's still on, you're going to check to see if you're getting 240 volts of electricity on your amp meter here. If you are getting 240 volts, what you're going to want to do is make sure you go and turn off the hot tub again. After you get the hot tub turned off, you're going to come out to here and you're going to get more than likely a 3/8 wrench to get these nuts off. Now, before I go any further on this, these nuts can get rusted up and gummed up a little bit with rust and iron. So what you're going to want to do is maybe spray a little bit of WD-40, try not to get anything on the board here as far as the wetness or the WD-40. So the rest of it here, we're going to go ahead and get these nuts off. And then you're going to lift the leads up. And the next test, what we're going to do is actually check for continuity. Continuity check is when you actually grab your continuity checker here, and you should be getting a full circuit when you put your tips together like so. And then we're going to go and make sure that this is getting continuity, and it is showing that we're getting a complete circuit. And in this case, we'd be looking at another type of sensor issue if the flow reading is still coming up, because we've got the heating elements getting the electricity and it's got a full circuit. So we're going to check on the next system here, which would be, this is another style of heat tube assembly, which it actually has a pressure switch built in on the inside here. The pressure switch is actually what picks up the flow of water through the system for the heat element to be actually engaged. Now on this heat tube assembly here, typically they're facing straight up and down like so. So if you were actually going to work on this pressure switch, you're going to want to make sure that you loosen up your tail pieces here so that you're able to spin the heat tube assembly outward towards you. Because the next thing that we're going to do is we're actually going to take the wires off these prongs here, and we're going to actually jump the pressure switch by bypassing it. And what you do is you take the wires off and you either connect them together with a paper clip or connect them together if you can get them connected together by dog-earing them together. What that's going to do is after you bypass the pressure switch, you're going to go ahead and turn the system back on. Obviously putting the heat tube assembly, locking the tail pieces back together here, and then once you turn the system back on, after the pressure switch is jumped, the flow reading should go away. But if it doesn't, then you're going to have actually another issue, which would be for another session here, because it's actually talking about these two types of sensors here, which you have a heat temp sensor and a flow temp sensor, both done electronically. But as far as everything goes, that's your how-to today on how to check, make sure you can get the flow reading taken care of. Thank you.